Welcome to the conversation. Today, we gather to celebrate a momentous occasion, 64 years of independence. As we mark this milestone, we reflect on the journey that have shaped our nation, from the struggles of our forebears to the triumphs of our collective resilience. As we look back, we have made significant strides in various sectors, but we still face challenges that require our collective effort. Today, we will engage in thought-provoking discussion, exploring questions like what significant changes have we observed in Nigeria's development since independence? How are the country economy involved, and what roles has education played in shaping our progress? We'll also examine the present challenges facing Nigeria today and how we can leverage on our diverse culture and resources to drive economic growth. We will discuss ways to promote unity and national cohesion, and how the government and citizens can collaborate to achieve our development goals. As we celebrate this independence, let's honor the sacrifice of our past, celebrate our diversity, and look forward to a brighter future. Let's work together to build a more prosperous and equitable society for all Nigeria. And that will be our discussion on today. With these questions in mind, let's embark on this enriching conversation, and may our discussion inspire meaningful actions and progress for our great nations in Nigeria. I'm Beatrice Okimbalui. Let's get this conversation started. And I have with me here today Ambassador Ade Mario Emmanuel, the Director General of the Coalition of Nigerian Youth and Security and Safety Measures. It's good to have you here, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good so happy independence once again.
Thank you so much.
To everyone. So since the independence, what significant changes have you seen in Nigeria development?
Wow, what a beautiful and a wonderful question. Nigeria from 1960 to date, the journey so far. Nigeria has been faced with different challenges. Security, not just external but internal security, which has bedeviled the country. Beyond that, corruption has in same vein dealt with the progress that Nigeria as a country ought to have from 1960 to date. Will to impart, to execute, to do exactly what ought to make the people happy, enjoying what independence really is, has not really been there from our leaders. Be it as it may, Nigeria has really fared well, based on the fact that from 1960 to date that Nigeria has been faced with different kinds of challenges, both internal and external economic challenges and many others. Nigeria has been able to survive. Okay. And that is what distinguished and make Nigeria the giant of Africa. What distinguished Nigeria as a giant of Africa is beyond documentary. It is about her tenacity, her capacity to absorb, her capacity to endure, her capacity to a kind of feel courageous to move on in unity. If other African country has faced 2% of what Nigeria has faced, there wouldn't have been anymore. Talk about religious crisis, ethnicity. These two alone were enough to have tear Nigeria apart as a country after her independence. Now, if it were to be other country in Africa and other part of the world By now, the Hausas would have gone. The Yorubas would have gone their own separate way, while the Igbos would have gone their separate way. But because of that confidence and because of the sacrifice of our leaders past, Nigeria as a country has remained united, even in her state of distress, even in her state of pain, even when some few has been igniting crisis. But yet, some few leaders who felt they cannot allow the effort of the heroes past to be sold out. They stood their ground. We must remain one united Nigeria. And this has actually helped us so far in the journey that has led us to where we are. Let's come to democracy proper from 1999 to date. Obasanjo came on board. He did his best that he could do. Yar'Adua came on board. He did his best that he could do. Jonathan came on board. He did his best that he could do. Muhammadu Buhari came on board. He did the best he could do. But yet, these persons tried their best to move Nigeria forward from where they met it. Yes, there have been insecurity even before 1960 when democracy came on board, but it was not as this that we are being faced with today. As at then, people can still be in the farm till 7, 8 p.m. those years. As at then, people can still leave their houses opened without being afraid of somebody coming to steal any of their valuables. As at then, people can put their children inside an unknown vehicle. They don't know the driver, they don't know the passengers inside the driver, but yet their children will get to their destination. So, going forward, Nigeria have seen it all, either in times of crisis, either in times of external influences to a kind of bring the unity of the country down as a country that is sovereign of its own, despite some international community trying to influence the governance of the country. Nigeria as a country has really a kind of move on to say we have what it takes to be whom we are known to be. And this will all bring together to someone that, for the fact that Nigeria has been faced with a lot of challenges from 1960 to date, Nigeria has been progressing rightfully. Rightfully how? There is no country in Africa today that still enjoy the kind of peace that Nigeria is enjoying as a country.
Are you really sure about that?
Yes. Let's look beyond the banditry and kidnapping activities. It
Okay.
also happens in other countries.
So if
Theirs
we look...
might not be lauded. Theirs might not be pronounced
Okay.
as ours are being pronounced. Theirs might not be too open just because ours has some internal hints that either it is political, it is either motivated politically, or some business persons who actually see those activities as a means of amassing wealth to themselves. So if all these areas are removed, I bet you there is no African country that is as progressive, that is as peaceful as Nigeria today.
Okay, let me chip in one thing right there. You said that Nigeria has enjoyed good peace and safety than other countries. We all know that there is no country that doesn't have their own loopholes. But Africa generally, according to your words,
Okay.
according to what you say Africa generally,
Yes.
Nigeria has enjoyed the most
Peace.
peaceful and I beg to differ, but
How?
I don't think so. With the situation of things happening in Nigeria, or with the way things are happening in Nigeria, especially on securities.
Can you mention any African country that is not bedeviled with security challenges?
I know there is no country that doesn't have the security challenges, but the percentage are different.
Now.
So that's why I just want to ask.
Okay.
I just want to ask.
Okay.
How sure are you that Nigeria has the lowest percentage
of insecurity?
Thank
you. Now, you see, how you rate percentage is not based on what is out there on social media.
Yeah.
Now, it's a field work. Some of us does not just go to media to talk. We are in the field. Okay. We go to these places where these things happened. Two things we look at. Why does it happen? Who are the enablers? And that is why I said, if the political hands are not there, I bet you Nigeria would have been the most peaceful country in the world, not just Africa.
But that is on HIF. That is on HIF.
Yes,
you know?
yes. Now, when I talk about
it is not currently.
Yes. Well, it is not. The truth is this: Nigeria, so far as at today, under the governance and leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has enjoyed 80% of peace beyond the administration of President Jonathan Buhari administration. Yes, it was more peaceful during Obasanjo, followed by the administration of Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, before the inception of President Jonathan. Boko Haram activity started during his period and era, completing the 2 years and his 4 years, and preceding the coming on board of President Buhari. Now, the truth is this, that if you look at the rate of attack then, it was more of suicide bombers activities that would just enter the particular place, exploit. Now, all this has been curtailed. All this has been properly dealt with. Now, before now again, you discover that these people will just come out to community, ransack everywhere. So, yes, it has happened recently, but the fact is that it is not the way the activities used to be before now. So that means this present administration is even trying her best to see that the level and the rate of insecurity, because that is the only thing, if you remove insecurity from what has really dragged Nigeria as a country backward, you get to discover that it is just insecurity and corruption. If you remove these two things, I bet you there is no businessman in the world that will not come and establish here. So, which means the corruption itself is part of what influenced the insecurity. Because some persons just feel that money that are meant for arms, that they can just use it to build hotel, use it to build house, or use it to go and establish somewhere outside there in any of the other countries. But the truth is that Nigeria has enjoyed more peace than her problems. That's the area I'm going to. Okay. Nigeria has been able to undo their fear beyond their fear. So these are the areas I am rating from. And again, if you look at Nigeria as a country, there is this spirit we had even before independence, that we're being ruled by our colonial master. Even as at then, you get to discover that we're still pushing that, no, we are not slaves, and we cannot be slaves. You know, so that spirit is what is still in us, that we should, or we as people should be able to build upon to get going, so that generations that are coming after us might be able to have a stabilized a country to inherit. Yes, those that started in 1960, they tried their best, they did their best, pushing forward the military coup coming on board, the front and back, coming to the ringing of MK Abiola's election, preceding his being assassinated and all that. You discover that in all these phases, Nigeria as a country get going. If South Africa should pass through what Nigeria has passed through in the last 25 years.
But that's why they always call Nigeria suffering and still smiling. Is really
no, it is beyond suffering and still smiling. It is beyond that. It is the fact that we have this in our gene.
The resilience?
Yes, we don't give up. We just believe that we might fail. But that does not determine us. That does not conclude us. We don't believe that we can still get it right. And that is why we push on.
Giving us, has it been favorable to Nigerians?
Yes, it has been favorable because it is bringing out our best. It is bringing out our best. So the more it is a kind of revolving. It is a kind of revolving whereby the more we are faced with these challenges, the more the idea of what to do next, how to do, what to do, and where to do. So, and that is where the issue of constitutional review is now coming on board. This is where ideology of a kind of creating new curriculum that are different from the curriculum we've been using from 1990s to date is now coming on board. So a lot of things are facing up while a lot of things are coming on board. Now, looking at Nigeria from 1960 to date, before now, we're not surviving on oil. We are surviving on agriculture. Mm-hmm. Along the line is where we discover oil. Mm-hmm. Beyond oil, I want to tell you, Nigeria has what is more than oil. If the mineral resources we have in Katsina, in Zamfara, in Niger, are properly, in quote, are properly harnessed, Nigeria will fall back to be one of the richest countries in Africa and the world. If it's not going to be one of, at least it's going to be within fifth or sixth. How? If you ask geologists what minerals are in Zamfara and in Katsina, you get to discover is enough to rebuild Nigeria as a country. So the insecurity we are faced with is not just a kind of a fight for fighting's sake. It's a fight for some persons to get some certain things. Because if you ask them, what are you precisely requesting for? They have nothing to say, this is what we are fighting for. But there are some machinery who make use of these people to be able to continue to refine this mineral, these golds, illegally. What are they protecting in those forests? The issue of kidnapping. Kidnapping was not as rampant as this in Nigeria before now. Exactly. But now, these guys felt that they are the masters of the forest. And, on daily basis, they carry out these kidnapping activities. But be it as it may, all this does not define our progress. Our progress is defined by how far have we really been able to subject these situations under us. And Nigerian government have been able to do that under this administration. And the Chief of Defense Staff has been playing this vital role of seeing that every communities that are bedeviled with insecurity get their peace back. But like I said, that the insecurity we are faced with in Nigeria as of today is as minimal to what other countries are faced with. But theirs is not on media the way ours is. Ours is that we have the opportunity of media, and the way we are using it more negatively. So some of us even have these informations on media. How do we really refine this information and use it to solve the problem? We only use it to kind of see how we can bring the government down. So, and these are areas that are challenging. But yeah, these challenges does not define our progress. It only refines us to be able to wake up to more responsibility and more duty for a better Nigeria that we are going to celebrate in subsequent years.
Okay, okay. Let's reflect on the past. How has the country economy, because you mentioned the side of economy when you're speaking. So reflecting on the past now, how has the country economy evolved for the past since 64 that we've been celebrating independence?
Nigeria economy.
Yeah, so over the past 64 years, how has the Nigeria economy
Yes,
evolved?
you see, the economy have been revolving too. Before now, just like I said, our basic source of income was agriculture.
But
So,
but you know that
cocoa,
agriculture
cotton, yeah, okay.
is not even a source of income to Nigeria again.
I beg to disagree.
We now depends on the crude oil and stuff.
No.
You know,
This administration, I
I'm
want to
going
put it to you.
somewhere. I know you will say this administration is trying to bring back everything.
Yes.
It's trying to bring back everything.
There are practical examples
But
I can give.
currently, right now,
Okay.
everybody is depending on the oil products.
No.
The crude oil and stuff. I'm sure you know what is going on about the crude oil stuff or whatever, and how it so much affects the economic system, from fuel scarcity to fuel subsidy and other things to high rates of fuel purchase. And now you're telling me that agriculture is one of our major sources of income.
Before now. Before now.
Let's not forget.
Okay.
Let's not forget that
Okay.
that agriculture, that same agriculture, we've been having food scarcity. So how is it giving us source of income when we've been having food scarcity? From security to is part of it that causes food scarcity, and we've been having food problem. Farmers have been have always one of the poorest people in the country is farmers.
No.
Just like the way they will say.
No.
We've not been able to.
Farmers in my village. Farmers in my village are the most richest people today. I'm telling you.
So how come
farmers in my village are using the most expensive vehicles today? Farmers in my village. I'm talking about my hometown. My age mate, whom we started life together.
Can you be precise about the states?
Yes, Ondo State. I'm from Ikpeakoko. Now, I also want to tell you that farmers from my hometown are building the most beautiful houses now. The most beautiful houses in my village are being built by farmers. Okay,
so tell us how the Nigeria economy has evolved in the past 64 years.
Now, I want to say this, that when this administration came on board, the president was specific. He said, we will not continue to depend on foreign foods. He focused on food security.
Okay.
Now, the first thing is, secure our farmlands, secure our farmers. Now, if you look at Benue, whatsoever that have been happening in Benue, I still want to tell you, Benue up to date is still the food basket of nation.
They are just food baskets of nation.
No,
because
I said
now
practical.
Has even
if you see the yam, if you see the yams and rice and beans,
they've been having security issues. They couldn't even produce well, so their farmers are not even be able to do well.
No, you are getting it wrong here. You are getting it wrong.
So enlighten me.
Now, these farmlands, go to Benue State today, go to local farms today, you see them in the farm. You see them planting, you see them harvesting. Now, in same vein, I want to bring this to your notice, that this present administration has pushed more than 5 billion into agriculture to see that farmers are being provided with seedlings. Farmers are being provided with seedlings. And in same vein, most of our senators, most of the empowerment they are doing these days, they are focusing on more of artisan. They are focusing more of artisan. Then they are focusing more of those that are into farming, providing them with either the cages, providing them seedlings that has to do with tomato seed, sweet potato seed. In fact, like in my place before now, everybody always believed that tomatoes and peppers can always come from the north. If I tell you today, if you go to Obese in Ondo State, if you see the way our farmers bring out tomatoes and peppers, as in real peppers and tomatoes, even okra, vegetables, now watermelon and many other, these are things we were not planting before. And now the government is already empowering. And
Okay.
so far, so be it. Nigeria from 1960 to date has fared well, irrespective of the challenges she has faced as a country.
So we'll talk more about the economy that has been involved around Nigeria for 64 years since the independence. But let's go on the short break. When we'll be back, we'll talk more on Nigeria. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is The Conversation, and we have been speaking about the independence Nigeria at 64 years. As you all know, this is independence season. Nigeria is enjoying its 64 years anniversary. And I have with me an amazing guest that has been telling us lots about Nigeria. We've been reflecting straight from the past to the present over the years since independence. And we just finished speaking about the economic system of Nigeria, how it has evolved since independence. So let's move on, sir. How did you think, what are the challenges or the present issues Nigeria has been facing since 1960? And up till now, we are still facing it. We learned that we are supposed to grow and outgrow things. You can't tell us that when we just got independence, there are some things that, we just left the colonial system, and there's some things that we've not been able to adjust to. But till now, we are still trying to adjust to it. Do you even know that people says that since the independence, they couldn't even see the significance of that independence. And it shouldn't be. They try to, they try to compare us with all other countries, especially, let's even bring it down to Africa, that since their independence, we can see how well they've grown. And so how has Nigeria grown? What are the problems they're facing that they are still facing? They've started facing since 1960 and they're still facing. Or how well has Nigeria grown over the years?
Now, Nigeria has tried her best to sustain what has been given to her as a freedom.
Shall I point to you that since we've been having this conversation, you've been telling us Nigeria has, Nigeria heave. It's like Nigeria is on the way. We've not really known maybe Nigeria is there. Where is Nigeria going to be there?
The truth is that we are not there yet. We are heading there.
Oh.
And we are confident of getting there. There is no country that is there yet. Even America is not there yet.
But, we are...
we are ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yes. And whatsoever we are passing through now, America passed through it. America did not get to where it is today.
It's Nigeria is 64,
Yes.
And we are still
How
passing
old
through
was
a
America
serious one.
for it to start achieving and attaining the level of progress it started attaining? No, you see, our basic problem from independence to date has been corruption. And if this corruption is properly dealt with, we don't have any problem as a country. Corruption is a problem, number one. Corruption is a problem, number two. Corruption is a problem, number three.
So it's corruption that revolves around every other issues that we are
Exactly.
having.
Even the insecurity we are talking about is out of corruption.
Okay, so it's corruption that causes insecurity.
Yes, exactly.
It's corruption that causes lack of food in the country.
No,
It's corruption that causes infrastructure facilities, lack of infrastructure.
Okay, let me help you. Let me help you.
Okay.
Now, I will use Ibadan-Ife Expressway as an example.
Okay.
From 1995 till date, that road has been awarded more than 50 times. Up till now, all it has been passing through has been refilling maintenance. It has never been done.
So why is it not fully done?
Now, that is the corruption we talk about. So a single person values just going away with the money at the detriment of the road being done for the people to have a smooth road movement. That is number one. Number two, coming to our educational system. Contracts have been awarded for good edifices to be built, for students to be comfortable learning. And this person just start the foundation, went away with the whole money. First administration has come and gone, second administration has come and gone, the third administration has come and gone, fourth, we are in the fifth. So, it is corruption. Now, let us come to our electricity power. Several huge amount of money have been pushed to our different dams, even the Kanji Dam. How far has the fund that have been pushed for this project, how far has been properly utilized? And that's why I said our problem are self-made. Beyond our problem, beyond this corruption, Nigeria would have been the best in the world. I can say this anywhere. Among any of my counterparts in the world, I can boldly sit and say this, that they would have been learning from us. America would have been learning from us. There is nothing America has today that we don't have the best more than they are. Will you talk about from armed forces? Will you talk about doctors? Will you talk about technicians? What do you want to talk about? That we don't have the best ahead of them. But the problem we have as a people and as a country is leadership that has that will to do the actual thing that the people want. Now, priorities are not always worked on. A community that needs health care, you are going to give them borehole. They are two different ball games. They need good health care. So, health care is their priority, but you are giving them borehole, which is secondary. So, these are the problems. So, Nigeria has fared well so far, but our challenges are basically surrounding one singular thing, which is corruption. And which I know, with the little that the current EFCC chairman has done, in quote, which I know, with the little the current EFCC chairman has done, no politician that has stole our money will go scot-free.
Oh, you know they've been saying that since
I said with the current. I said with the current work that the EFCC chairman is doing.
We all know how EFCC do your work.
No.
We hear about it.
No,
that
this person is different.
This
we are
person.
involved. We are doing the work with him.
We won't hear anything again.
We are doing the work with him. We are doing the work with him. You see, a lot of, you cannot just say somebody is corrupt without coming up with what has been assigned under him to do. And he did not use the money judiciously to do it. So, and this is where you kind of conclude one to be a corrupt person from. So now, you see, with the new policies that this administration is bringing on board, accountability is at the front line. And that is why we are confident that in the next 2 remaining calendar year for this administration to wrap up, you will see a lot of new things. In fact, when we'll be celebrating 66, you are going to see the difference. Insecurity would have at least be properly dealt with 95%. We'll only be having 5% of insecurity, whereby any other part of the world too is faced with 10, 20, 30% of insecurity. So, but depending on how they're handling it from their end. So then in same vein, our economy would have a kind of boom more better, would have enough reserve for generations that are coming even 50 years behind. We would have been able to have enough reserve for them. Our debt would have been able to a kind of deal much more of a kind of a settling of the debt of this country. And again, I want to say this, that be it as it may that we are saying that Nigerian government has done well, and we have also been able to establish the fact that yes, that there are problems. Problems cannot be, it's just like a doctor going to hospital for treatment. And it's not immediately you get to the hospital that doctor applies the injections and gives you drug that the sickness disappear. It takes gradual processes, you know, because depending on how long that this sickness has been in you, the issue of corruption has been a very long time sickness in us. It is. In fact, even a child of today is looking for how to embezzle government money. so it means that it is already becoming part of us. So, but this administration is trying her best to see that this issue of corruption is properly dealt with. And this is the major challenge. This is the major challenge Nigeria is having as a country. So if any contractor is given a route to do, let him go and do it. If you are given an hospital to build, go and build it. If you are given a contract to go and work on our electricity, go and do it. If all these things are in place, we'll have a more smooth country than what we have.
Okay.
But be it as it may, we are 80% on board.
Okay, so you said for since 1960 up to now, Nigeria major problem has been corruption, and it's that corruption that has been affecting other sides of Nigeria's problem. Okay, moving on, how can Nigeria diverse is a leverage on the culture and resources that Nigeria have to bring economical growth? You know, you've talked about how resourceful Nigeria is. And you also said Nigeria will have been the best, at least one of the first 5 best in the world, if we have used our resources well. So how can Nigeria leverage on our culture and resources to bring economical growth to Nigeria?
No, thank you. You see, Nigeria as a country at the moment has been, before now, we don't have our self-made products. Before now, we don't have our self-made products.
So how can we have that those kind of resources that we don't have a self-made product?
Now, you see, before now, even tea tomato, we import it. But now we have tea tomatoes here in Nigeria. Okay. I have friends that has company that does produce tea tomatoes. Are they
good ones that
yes,
Nigeria can bank
even
on?
More better than the chemical one they are bringing for us.
You know, Nigeria don't even trust their own product.
No.
That's why people import everything.
That was then. Nigerians now trust what they have. In fact, because we in fact, let me also put it to you that if not for politics and corruption, Nigerian medicine is more better off than what the foreigners are bringing to us.
You mean the herbal medicine, the traditional
medicine? Both herbal medicine and the ones that are passed through, would I call it clinical certification. You see, the problem we have, like I said, is corruption. You see, our leaders believe that whatsoever they are bringing from that side,
the best.
they have a way of getting the gain, getting their share from it. Because one, it will enter the country expressly through the influence of them being in power. So, you know, and because, in fact, a senator cannot come out and market a product. Everybody wants to go and buy it because they want to affiliate with the senator. And this product is not from here. This product is from outside here. Now, before now, groundnut oil, we don't make it here. But we already have our groundnut oil.
You know, we've always been having those kind of products, but they have always not been
It
trustworthy
has been
enough for people to
refined.
use.
It has been refined to the point whereby our people now prefer.
Nigeria made.
That's the truth. Now, you see, when we talk about foreign rice, will you agree with me that Nigerians eat more of Nigerian rice today than the foreign rice? Will you agree with me? The rice they are producing in Ebonyi State, you see, it is not the rice, then Bauchi and other states, it is not the rice everybody is now falling back to. Look at our yam from Niger State here, Benue and all that. You see, everybody is now falling back to Nigeria. But beyond that, we are talking about leveraging on our personal resources and our homemade to be able to boost our economy. Today, I have a friend, the Miller Farm, who imports peanuts from here to other countries. Peanuts. When the finished product, it kind of push it from Nigeria to other countries. Our friends who are into poultry, who still also supply eggs from Nigeria to Ghana, to Cote d'Ivoire, to Benin Republic. So, which were not happening before now. So, in same vein, we also have other local items like cottons. You know, before now, you see, the rate people are now planting cottons now is now going back to the former years during the days of our fathers. Some of us have lost the insight of cotton planting. So, but now everybody is now going back into it because our textiles are coming back on board. Before now, all the clothes we buy is from outside the country. But now we have Nigerians who have now gone into it, start encouraging even rubber. You see rubber plantations, you see people now going into planting of rubbers. Before now, I never, myself, at least I planted some little few. Because I felt that, no, even if I die, I should be able to leave something behind. Okay. You know, so, and when we begin to think from this dimension, we'll be getting it right as a people. But be it as it may, leveraging on what we have to be able to boost our economy is for the government herself too, to also encourage the people. Because it falls back to finance, that what you don't have money to do is bigger than you. So Nigerian government should support our farmers, our entrepreneurs to be able to produce more. The more we produce, we have excess. And that excess is where we now think of a kind of exporting to other countries for business purposes. Lastly, I want to also look at this angle and dimension of God has blessed us so much in this country that we don't have earthquake. We don't have
the climate changes.
So, like a lot of things that bedeviled other people in other countries, it does not happen to us.
Yeah, we know Nigeria doesn't have any climate disaster or earthquake.
So, but the point is this: that you see, God has blessed us with a lot of things in our forests. You see, recently you see people seeing elephants in their forests in Nigeria. So for me, I never believed that we have elephants here in Nigeria. So, but we have them in our forests. You know, somebody killed one very, very big tiger in my village. I said, how come? I was believing that these things is in the other country, not here. So God has blessed us so much. So it is about government making policies that could actually help to sustain what we have and see how our people can kind of enrich themselves in knowledge of how to kind of extract these things positively for our usage, for public consumption, and for business purposes that could actually showcase the country among our counterparts in the world.
Okay, that's impactful. So let's move a little bit into the Nigeria administration. Let's move a little bit into the politics. So how will you compare the new administration, the new rule, since 1960? All the leaders that we've had especially the presidential leaders that we've had since 1960 to the present. So how will you compare? This is what I'm trying to let you understand.
Okay.
The current administration and the past administration, which one will you prefer? Or what are the slightly changes or improvements between those two?
Yeah. Previous administrations have tried their best.
Oh, you've mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
Tried their
But
best.
the
Which
point
one will you
is
prefer?
this administration is intentional.
Do you know why I asked this question?
Okay.
Yesterday, when we really celebrated, I said when we celebrate the Nigeria at 1960, and I know we were outside asking people how Nigeria is at since independence to now. Do you know majority of Nigeria prefers some past administration than the current administration? You know, starting from that 1960, 1970 till before 2000 administration downward to now. They prefer those 90s administration.
And I will define it
Not
for you.
because, you know, we have some military rules there before
let me help you.
democracy started.
Let me help
Some
you.
people say we should even go back to the military rule.
No.
That it was more favorable than now.
Okay, let me help you there.
So,
you see, the previous administration from 1960 actually focused more on infrastructure, building legacies. And that is where even the presidential villa we are enjoying today were concept of those 1960. The federal secretariats and many other roads and bridges we have today that are being sustained were built during this time.
And we are still enjoying it. So don't you think the past administration have done well?
The point is that the leaders that came after them were not intentional like the leaders who were. And that is what this current administration is now leveraging on. That if our heroes past could build a legacy, we should be able to sustain that legacy and a kind of edify, re-beautify what they have done.
Oh, you won't do
Now,
better.
you see, most of our police stations that have been dilapidated today were built those years. The barracks, the police barracks, and the army barracks. So, which ones are replacing? So, this present administration has looked back and looked at the problems and the challenges from 1960. What 1960 was able to do till 1999 before democracy now came on board, which President Obasanjo came on board as president at the first civilian government again. He discovered that Nigeria was still living in past glory. So he does not want Nigerians to live in past glory anymore. And that is why, you see, he's bringing different committees on board to discuss what are the problems, what are the solutions, short time and long time. How sustainable can this be? What will be the challenges of this not to come to pass? How can we deal with the challenges? So these are the current thing that this administration is doing. And that is why I said that this administration has focused on agriculture. Secondly, has focused on youth empowerment, skill building. Nigeria has so far depended on past glory of 1960, 1980, 1990. The president said no. And a marching order was given to the minister. I don't want to be hearing 1960. I don't want to be hearing 1970. I don't want to be hearing 1980. I don't want to be hearing 1990. I want to hear what capacity do we have. The youth are the leaders of today. And that marching order the Minister of Youth Development has taken up. Make sure that the 1 youth 2 skill is achieved. But yeah, there are some youths that felt, I don't need the skill. I'm comfortable. So in conclusion, I want to say this, that this present administration has distinguished herself from the past leaders. And I'm now referring to the president, that the president is intentional. He's ready to change the narrative. He's already changing it. Instead of spending millions to felicitate yesterday, he said no. He forestalled it. Because at the end of the day, you hear that 1 billion has been spent to celebrate independence. That 1 billion is enough to do something else, to put this country forward.
Okay, so do you think that didn't happen?
Huh?
Do you think that didn't happen?
No, whatsoever celebration and ceremony, even when the wife of the president celebrated her birthday, he said, whatsoever you want to give me as a gift, convert it to fund. And this will be used for social purpose, National Library, to be completed. So these are things. But others will prefer, oh yeah, come and give me the car gift. Come and give me a land document gift. But she said no. So this, we are saying that this administration is doing well. The celebration of the 65 independent was a good one. People celebrated it well. There was no killing, there was no crisis, there was no chaos. And by this time next year, we'll celebrate it more better than we've celebrated this year.
Thank you so much for coming today with this. Now where we draw the curtain, and we've had a wonderful time with you. You've told us how well the independence has brought a great improvement to Nigeria, and we're so glad you are here today to give us more insights and perspective. I'd love to thank our guests. Thank you for your insights and perspective. And to our viewers, thank you for watching the conversation. And today, this is where we draw the curtain. I'm Beatrice Okimbali. Don't forget, keep watching. Happy Independence to Nigeria. Goodbye.